So the painting is now done on this one, and sorry for not filming it, but I'm sort of in that scenario where I need to rattle on and try and get through this one for a couple of deadlines. If you didn't know during the build, I actually went out and got the errata sheet from Eduard, which gives the correct size decals. So there you can see the difference in the ones they provide. These are actually 1/48 ones, and then these are the correct 32nd ones, much larger on the wing. So we've got that, and now it's just a case of getting on with the decaling. So it's quite a few nice bits of insignia that goes on. We're going to be doing 691. There's a few logos that go around the side. We've even got a tail wheel decal here as well for the white rim on the tail wheel. So that's good. Now again, I've done this many times on the channel, so I'm not going to film this. I'm just going to get on and decal it, and then we'll pick this back up in the weathering stage. But I thought it was worth just pointing out that the colours I've used here are ROM 63 on the top, which is this kind of greenish grey colour. ROM 65 on the bottom, which is the light blue. Then I've got white and black, all from the MRP range. And then this is obviously the black around the edge there. I've also painted up the prop, so that's silver on the front side and then painted black to stop the glare on the rear side. So that's done, and we've also got a yellow nose cone to go on this one as well. So that's all done, everything's ready to go. I've painted up all the sub-assemblies. We've even got the slats that are going on as well. They're separate, so they go on. Well, they could go on at this stage, but I'll probably wait until afterwards, after the decaling's done, and then we'll get these on. That's those there. And yeah, the build's coming on alright. So after getting out of all the building issues, now we're at this point, it's starting to come together, and it's looking like quite the model. So stay tuned, and we'll crack on with a matte coat, get some panel line washers on, and try and get this one across the line. And as I mentioned, here we are starting to bring the model to an end. So I've got all of the bits that are necessary to bring this one to a close. I've got them all stashed away in here. Now before we actually put on any of the fine parts, we just want to make sure the main amount of weathering's out the way, and the top is done now. It won't show up very well on this camera because the light tends to sort of eliminate it, but when we get into the pictures at the end you'll see it a lot better. The only thing I haven't done is the underside, and I wasn't going to do a huge amount to this. I was going to go back to more sort of how I used to do it traditionally, just by using some pigments and just a few pin washes here and there. Not very much at all, because these aircraft in Spain didn't get a lot of use and they weren't very dirty. I've just done an overall oil wash on the top here with a large brush, and that's basically given me the kind of look that I want. It's just aged it a little bit, and where it's a little bit heavy in places I will just use some neat thinners, which are the low odour thinners from De La Rowney. Just go over them with a cotton swab, get rid of all of that, and then we can start adding on some of the small pieces. Now, I've just popped on some oil washes onto the base of this, and now I'm just going to go in with some of these pigments just in and around the landing gear, because it's an easy and effective way of creating a dust effect. And you want to be careful because this does go up into the atmosphere, so you know, be careful not to breathe it in. And I'll just do that in the channel, and then we'll come up to the actual wheel. I tend to do this over. It's kind of hard to do on camera, but because it's so messy, it looks like that wheel's going to come off. Hopefully not. Just go over liberally, inside there as well. You can imagine where dust gets to on wheels. And hopefully most of that's going back into the pot. Give it a quick blast with the airbrush. Get rid of any of the extra. And then I just work it in and try and make it look a bit more realistic. This is rather difficult to do on camera, so I'll continue to do that and tidy it up. So now all that's done, it's time just to put some of these small parts on. So using super glue here just to make it easy, I'm going to start with the aerial, which was on but it snapped off. So it's always best to leave these things till the last minute if that's the case. Just put that there and line it up. I think that's pretty good. And check that side. Yep, that's all okay. Then we flip it over and we've got the counterweights and the pitot tube to go on. These counterweights are always best to go on with a dab of super glue because they sit at such an angle. It's very difficult to get them to glue with plastic glue because they kind of lean forward. So you need something that sets relatively quickly. And here we are for the final reveal. So this is the model finish now. I've just taken some pictures of this, so that'll be up after this little dialogue. So all there is to say with this one is it was an enjoyable project towards the end. The build was challenging in places, especially for an Eduard kit. We've all come to expect quite a lot from Eduard, but this is an older one of theirs, so it is showing its age a little bit compared to their newer releases. But overall, I mean, it wasn't too bad. It's a nice kit, and it was nice to have the addition of their resin wheels and the photo etch set, which came in the boxing, as well as many options for Legion Condor aircraft. Apologies for the first half of the video. I saw there was a few comments saying it would have been nice to have the talking and the music wasn't preferable, and I take that on board fully. It was I sort of chucked it out over Christmas, so I perhaps didn't put quite as much effort into it as I should have. But nevertheless, there is a new theme coming for build videos from now on, so do stay tuned because they will be improving and each one will be having commentary. All there is left to say is thanks for tuning in and thanks for watching the video. If you have enjoyed what you've seen, please consider subscribing and liking the video. And if you want to help the channel out, there is a Patreon campaign and a PayPal link in the description below. So if you'd like to contribute to the channel, that would be very well received, and that's where you could do it. So as always, thanks to everyone for continuing to support the channel. Do stay tuned because there's a lot more coming and the content on the channel is going to be improving quite a lot. So stay on the video now for the reveal pictures that are about to come, and I'll see you in the next video.